Grandma didn't even know it was called teabagging. Hello and welcome back to Straight Switch Photography. We're back for another video, and it's about being a patriot. It's about being proud to actually be British. I'm just going to put on the live chat whilst I'm at it as well, because we have a few people that like to comment sometimes and everything else, and I find it interesting. So I'm just going to move this window from up here, if it'll let me. This is the chat window right here. Let's see whether it will let me move it to the left or the right in a few minutes. But yeah, I've got this video to show you just here as well, which was on Talk TV. Now, I'm going to let you watch the whole video, and then I'm going to be explaining a few things myself at the end, because I've got something running up on Facebook at the moment, and I want people to understand a little bit more about it. But here we go. Here's the start of the video. This is Talk TV, and this is about Birmingham City Council taking down the Union flags and the St George's flag. Here we go.
So it has run out of your money if you're in Birmingham, taxpayers' money, has decided to spend time, money and resource on Birmingham City Council. I'll remind everybody, by the way, Birmingham City Council, which is a Labour-controlled council, is bankrupt. So it has run out of your money if you're in Birmingham, taxpayers' money, has decided to spend time, money and resource on something they believe to be very, very important, which is the removal of dangerous flags. Now, you might have seen over the last couple of years lots and lots of Palestinian flags in support of Palestine, and indirectly, you could argue, Hamas, littering the lampposts and the streets of Birmingham. They are still up. They've been allowed to fly for the last 2.5 years or so. However, some patriotic people in Birmingham have decided to put the Union flag, the Union Jack, as some might call it, onto lampposts throughout certain more wealthier.
So yeah, what's actually happening here is basically Birmingham City Council have decided to make it illegal to put flags, certain flags, meaning the St George's flag and the Union Jack, up on lampposts all around the actual city, saying that it is a risk to public safety. Yet they had the Palestinian flags flying for over 2 years, which you will hear him say in this video in a very short while. Now, if there's a problem with these flags flying on lampposts and they're a risk to public safety, they're basically saying that it's illegal to strap anything to a lamppost because it's a risk to public safety. What are they going to do about planning permission? Because they go around strapping planning permission slips to lampposts, railings and things like that. In that sort of respect, this would tell me that the councils have been breaking the law, haven't they? I'm just saying. And I think it's a little bit ridiculous that they should be allowed to get away with it. People need to be more patriotic and start raising flags. Let's keep this up.
Areas of Birmingham City, and Birmingham City Council are now spending that time, money and resource removing the British flag from lampposts on British streets. You couldn't make it up, could you, Jack?
Yeah, on VJ Day as well, we're hearing about this story. It's absolutely extraordinary, and it is, I think two-tier really is the word of the year so far, because it is just seems to be infested now in every walk of life.
100%.
This tiny device.
100% two-tier. I said this earlier. It is two-tier, no matter what people think. I reckon it's two-tier. I also think it's racist, because if the Palestinians that don't even live in this country can have their flag over here flying for over 2.5 years, then to me, if we can't raise our own flag in our own country and be patriotic, because some people like to call it racists, mainly the far left, there's something serious going on here. You need to raise these flags and prove your point. This is what I'm saying. Let me just get past this ad and we'll
cools
carry on
entire
with the
rooms
video.
in minutes and works even when your AC fails during power outages.
But
whether it is the justice system, whether it is policing, whether or not it's councils tearing down some flags but allowing some more to stay up, it is just absolutely extraordinary. Most people in this country are patriotic. Most people in this country support the idea of putting up the Union flag, the flag of St George, especially on a day where we are, remembering, the war dead from the Second World War. And you're right, totally, Birmingham Council, who are probably the biggest joke and laughingstock in the whole country.
I'd just like to point out as well that Birmingham City Council went bankrupt, or what is known as bankrupt, so people understand it. It actually isn't bankrupt, but they messed the money up, and this is under a Labour-led local government there. Now, we're mainly Labour here in Melton at the moment. I don't think for long, or I hope not for long, because we've got this woke ideology in Melton as well. Not with all councillors and not with all people. We've got certain people that are willing to support me sort of doing a page called Melton Say No to Serco over on Facebook, if you want to go and take a look and support that page. It's about putting flags up on every single lamppost, every single house, every single car and everything in Melton Mowbray to show that we are British. And it doesn't matter whether you're black, yellow, brown. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Sikh, whatever religion, whatever colour skin you've got, whatever your beliefs, this flag represents you. If you are here legally, you work for this country, you have lived in this country for a number of years, you fall under this umbrella and this flag. And that is what this flag is about. It's got nothing to do with being racist. It's got nothing to do with being far right. What it has got to do with is people in Great Britain being pissed off with this government. They are sick and tired of it, and this is a show of peaceful protest to the government that we are no longer going to stand for it and to say this is our country. We elected you to do a job and you haven't done that. That's what this is about. And don't let anybody fool you into believing anything different.
Not allowing Palestinian flags to stay up, but then taking their time to tear down other flags because they say it's dangerous and a risk. Flags fly from lampposts all over the country.
You can just
and
imagine...
I'll tell you what is a risk. It's all those bins piling up and rats the size of cats walking around Birmingham. And you think they might spend more time trying to deal with that?
Indeed. I mean, some would argue that it should be an offence to tamper with the British flag. I mean, I don't think it should, because I think it's all about freedom of speech. If you want to criticise...
As I was saying before, councils have been strapping planning permission and leaflets and things like that to lampposts for years, and now they're trying to pull this bullshit by turning around and saying that it's illegal to strap foreign objects to a lamppost. So in that case, the councils have been breaking the law for years. Does that surprise you in the slightest? Seriously? Because if it does, dear me.
The British flag, then please do so, although I would argue that maybe you shouldn't be in this country if you don't like it that much. Just my point of view. But
not just your point of view, a lot of people's points of view. If you do not like the British flag, if you do not like the St George's flag, if you don't like the Union Jack, Jet2 Holidays are doing some very good deals at the minute on one-way tickets. Go. Get out. Fuck off. That's the way it goes. And that's the way most British people think. I just say it. Other people are too scared to say it. But I just say it as it is.
But the fact that this is being done at cost and so blatantly as to be not just anti-patriotic, but to call it incitement. I mean, that will be the excuse of the Labour-controlled Birmingham Council, no doubt, that this in some way is provoking unrest because, of course...
That would come under calling it, what some people would like to imagine it, as far right. Now, the reason I say this is because I came across this today. Let me just pop this up on the screen. I'm still getting used to this OBS and it doesn't want to let me move a certain thing over here. Oh, it's really doing my head in, this is. 1 second. Image 2. There we go. We had this Jay Foster who commented, because I've put together a group on Facebook called Melton Say No to Serco, and we've got a fundraiser going to try and buy as many flags as we can possibly get our hands on and cable ties and put them up all around Melton to bring the community of Melton together. Because very soon, you know what's happened with the hotels, right? It's been basically now said that it's illegal to put illegal migrants, 2 illegals in one sentence, in a hotel because they didn't have planning permission to actually do that. Now, if all these hotels shut, where do you think all these illegal migrants are going to go? Oh, that's right, we've just had 4,000 new homes built. Funny that, isn't it? Now, was this the plan all along? I don't know. I don't even know if they will be moving them into these new homes that they've all had built, but I can tell you what, there's going to be a big demographic change, and it's going to happen. Now, if we've got a sense of community and we can control this in some way and sort of welcome some of these people, then that will be a good thing, but we do not want the illegal migrants here. We want legal. We want legal migrants that have come to this country with a passport. We know who they are, where they're from, what they're capable of doing, and whether they can help this country or not. I don't care what colour your skin is. I don't care what your religion is. You are here legally for legitimate purposes. If you're here for illegitimate purposes, get the fuck lost. Plain and simple, you've came over to this country as an economic migrant, and everybody turns around and says, oh, well, they're fleeing war. Well, why haven't they brought the kids, the grandmothers, the grandfathers, the wives, and everybody else with them? It's all men. 90% of these people in these hotels are men. So you cannot turn around and say that, because it does not stand up to scrutiny one single bit. Not one single bit. Now, just read what this Jay Foster has said. Now, nationalism, in my opinion, is not a bad thing, because we had grandfathers that fought in World War I and World War II. World War I and World War II to keep this country British, to keep this country and nationalism, to keep its nationalism. And this is a typical fucking lefty idiot, in my opinion, which is why I said, shut up, you muppet. And there's that. That pissed me off when I seen that, but what can you do? You'll get these people that have been brainwashed by a far left ideology. And what I mean by a far left ideology is socialism, secular society, diversity and inclusion. They go on about that flags have been hijacked and everything else by the far right. The only flag that I've seen that's been hijacked in recent years is the pride flag by the LGBTQ4K community. That's explained in another video. Let's carry on with this one.
Of course, again, I'll remind you, about 30% of the population of Birmingham is Muslim. Now, those majority of those Muslims will have absolutely no problem
and most of those Muslims are actually proud British citizens. That's my point. They go to the mosque, they do the prayers, then they go to the shop and do the day's work, and then they go home and do whatever they do at home behind closed doors. And then they'll come out and have a coffee with the white mate called John. Normal people with different beliefs. That's the only difference. So to say that this flag has been hijacked by the far right is complete and utter bullshit. Stop trying to play the race card. It doesn't fucking work anymore. And people have woke up. You are too late. Labour are done. They will not be winning the next election. Get over it. Get a grip and move on.
Whatsoever with the national flag of this country that they have decided, or their ancestors decided to come to, flying
how anybody can be a proud socialist, I really don't know. I don't know how you sleep at night.
In their city. But some do-gooder councillors have decided that it's hateful, that it's insightful, that it's in some way provocative.
I wonder who that could be. I know. Look it up on Facebook, go searching. I'll leave that for you and we'll do it in the next video.
In the United States, can you imagine the same thing happening? Can you imagine all of those yard stars and stripes that proudly adorn front lawns and civic buildings and so on? Can you imagine in the United States if a local authority or a local community organisation said, you've got to take the stars and stripes down because it might affect...
That's where their right to bear arms comes in, doesn't it? And how did that go for them? Multiple shootings and everything else. America's a completely different place to Great Britain, believe me. Yes, we're close allies, but whilst we're under this Stasi government, they're wrecking it, completely destroying any sort of respect that America had for Great Britain.
And I don't know, Hindus, Jews, Catholics, whoever. I mean, it would be laughed at. But here, we almost kind of accept it, particularly in these Labour-controlled areas, that it's okay to denigrate the British flag and to be the opposite of patriotic, just in case it upsets a few people.
That is so, so true. These people actually believe that our flags are there, that they hurt people's feelings, they cause alarm, harassment and distress. What sort of stupid, lame excuse is that? The one that should be causing alarm, harassment and distress are the ones to do with war, like the Palestinian flag. Go and watch a short that I did earlier over at Oxfam in Syston. They're supporting Gaza, the fake war. They're supporting terrorists, Hamas. They're supporting Palestine Action. And these are charities, the same as the Salvation Army and places like that. Be careful who you give your money to.
Yeah, because in American schools, they are taught to be patriotic and to worship their flag. In this country, in recent times, it's become almost fashionable to hate this country or to say you hate this country. Now, I do not think that is where the majority of the British people are. I think the vast majority of the British people are very patriotic and proud to live in Britain and proud of English heritage.
And that is what it's all about. And that is why I started this group, Say No to Serco. We don't want illegal migrants here. They're not welcome. And number two, if you're already here and you've actually, you know, sort of put into society, paid your taxes and sort of integrated into society. To me, you're a British citizen, not English, British, and you fall under this flag. Now, I put a post up on Facebook earlier of basically a white flag, and we all know what a white flag means, don't we? It means you give up. It means you're going to lay on your back and take it. It means that you're basically yellow, that you've got no spine, and I believe that's what Melton has turned to, and we're just going to lay back and take it. Being told we can't put things up on lampposts and things like that will not work. Go over onto Melton, Say No to Serco. Go onto the Amazon website. There's a wish list there. You can go and buy your own flag to put up outside your own front door or put up on a lamppost somewhere, whichever flag you want, the Union Jack or the St George's flag, and support this cause. It's so, so important. It's happening all across the country. It's a show of defiance to this government to say that this is our country, not yours. We elected you, and you're not doing your fucking job. This has been Street Switch Photography. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Go and hit the notification bell. I'll keep doing these lives. I'll keep doing these walks around town. Also, we're going to be doing walks around certain estates. If anybody inboxes me over on photography, it's all about the edit to do with HMOs. I will be up there with my camera to let everybody know there is a HMO there, and that may be illegal, and I've got to make sure they are illegal first. Illegal migrants moving into that area. We've already got it in Melton. People are saying no, we haven't. We have. And we're going to be made to take our fair share of illegal migrants. We shouldn't have to. This is our town, not theirs. Okay? Let's get that straight. Let's get that straight and clear. It's our town. We do not want illegal migrants in this town. We want to keep our families safe. And that is what we will do.